Some people in crypto have lost their houses. Most people in crypto right now have lost their mind. But there is a small, silent minority of investors, people who have been around the cryptoverse for a long time, who are making the biggest investment moves of their lifetime right now. These are the people who literally built the foundations of Web 1 and Web 2. The experts and the really early adopters of Web 3 who have been around the blockchain for over a decade now. Right now, they are slowly accumulating all sorts of tokens, from the massive market caps like Bitcoin all the way down to these small altcoins and microcap currency. But how can they be so sure that the market's going to turn around? Especially right now when everything seems stacked against them. Tell me, why can't Bitcoin go down to $300 and just stay there forever? What's stopping that? And more importantly, when do these so-called experts predict the market is going to go back into a bull cycle? Well, apparently there's some pretty big indicators. If you want to see them, hit that like button below for me and let's jump in. So let's start this by addressing the criticisms of the crypto market. Why should this thing ever return to where it was? Well, it's a very fair question, because unlike stocks, cryptocurrencies right now are pretty much a purely speculative asset, and they do have very little tangible value apart from really just selling them on to the next highest bidder. And worse yet, Bitcoin was created in 2009. This is a year after the last global recession. And right now, things aren't looking too good in terms of a global recession. We are on the brink of one. And people are really speculating, is this going to be crypto's first ever true crash? And trust me, we've seen some bad ones. The 2013 bear market crashed Bitcoin 82%, and the 2017 bear market crashed it 83%. For us to match that sort of bear cycle, just match it right now, would mean an $11,000 Bitcoin. Now imagine how low we could really go if this was a super cycle. Well, I have the solution. These people clearly haven't seen this rainbow graph here. Those silly geese. This should address all of your concerns in one smooth rainbow stroke. If you take a look at this graph, you'll see we are in the fire sale prices band to buy Bitcoin right now. So everyone should really be rushing to their wallets to hand over their USD, which is inflating at a ridiculous rate, and buy Bitcoin because it's on sale, right? But before we do that, just real quick, what is this rainbow? What does it actually represent? Does this logarithmic scale have any relevance to anything in the market? And also, like this Reddit user said, don't rainbows normally come down on the other side? Well, why do you always have to be so skeptical? If we just go and have a look at what the creator of this rainbow graph says, he says that these bands are completely arbitrary and without any scientific basis at all. Okay, enough fun. Let's get to the other side of the coin. The belief that crypto is definitely coming back to set new all-time highs way above anything we've seen before. And of course, the part that we all want, there's gonna be an insane amount of opportunities for us to 100x, 1000x our money with all these new tokens that are being created right now and don't have massive market caps. Well, this is where we get to the smartest minds in the world. Their belief that this is like being on the forefront of the internet as it was being created. Naval tweeted, "Crypto is the smartest people in the world exiting into their own economy." And Mark Andreessen put an end to these skeptics by basically saying, yes, you're right in your beliefs, but there's something you're missing.
There's all the critics who are arguing against the reality of what you have today. In a lot of cases, they're actually right, but the fact that they're right is actually totally beside the point, because what they're not understanding is the potential. And in particular, they're not going to understand what happens when like a lot of the world's smartest people devote themselves to solving all these problems.
So let's start with Bitcoin, because it does seem to be the indicator of the overall market sentiment. When Bitcoin goes up, the market goes up. When it goes down, market goes down. One of the biggest arguments that Bitcoin is about to turn and come back to all-time highs is the Bitcoin is dead news article headlines. Basically, whenever the media puts out negativity about Bitcoin being dead, Bitcoin's price tends to absolutely skyrocket. When you take a step back from that canvas, you see a pattern that is somewhat promising. In 2011, Bitcoin fell below $20. People thought it was never coming back. Well, in 2015, it fell below $200. Same story. In 2017, it fell below $2,000. And of course, it's gone up since then. And now it's just fallen below $20,000. Is this the same pattern? Well, maybe. Then we have the argument that Bitcoin is essentially digital gold, a great inflation hedge and an investment that helps you diversify your portfolio. And even a lot of big hedge funds agree, and they're buying up billions of dollars of crypto. And if we do treat this as a one-to-one commodity trade-off, you'll see that gold actually has an $11 trillion market cap, where Bitcoin right now is less than $500 billion. It's over 20 times bigger, and a lot of people are saying that this is a lot of room for Bitcoin to grow. But I mean, how could we just be trading Bitcoin as a commodity? After all, it is a breakthrough technological advancement. Peter McCormack sums it up really well in his tweet. He says, models come and go, narratives come and go. What doesn't change is 21 million tokens, censorship resistance, unforgeable costliness, decentralization, self-custody, immutability, fast and global peer-to-peer payments, scaling through Lightning, and global liquidity. And he's got a good point. The blockchain technology is really where all the value is held. In fact, the world is actually adopting blockchain technology probably faster than you think. Did you know that 81 out of the top 100 companies in the US are now employing blockchain technology inside their company? And the biggest companies in the world are investing a lot of money into blockchain startups and Web3 projects that may just go on to become the biggest companies in the world 10 years from now. And I mean, there are a lot of really good looking up and coming Web3 projects that are going to be around in the next crypto bull cycle. And get this, sounds weird for Web3, but these are going to be projects and protocols that are going to actually be operated and run like legitimate businesses. They're going to have utility and be profitable. Wow, a refreshing change of pace. Things like Theta, created by Stephen Chen. He's the original founder of YouTube, and he wants to deliver improved streaming for video deliverability. You can think of them like Uber for the internet, where you can basically borrow someone's bandwidth to stream or watch videos in higher quality from almost anywhere in the world. Or you can even rent out your own bandwidth and hardware for them to process other people's videos, and you get paid in Theta tokens. I mean, when you look at the top 10 or top 100 cryptocurrencies, it's almost like a static list. It looks like that list is never gonna change, and we've really missed all the potential returns that we could get for our investment. But if we go back any of these market cycles, you can see that this is really not true. So many of these billion-dollar market cap protocols have been created in the last 2 years. Blockchains like Polkadot, Polygon, and Solana that could have 100x'd your money if you caught them at the right time. There's going to be so much opportunity for you out there to make a lot of money in Web3, but you have to be extremely educated. So subscribe here, and I'll do my best to provide you the best info as I come across it. In fact, we might already be in the middle of this opportunity and not really know it. Alex Becker says people were paying more for Ethereum in 2017 than now, when the dollar was probably worth 40 to 50% more, and Ethereum did next to nothing with very few users. And right now, Ethereum has entire working ecosystems, NFTs, revenue generating products, etc. The list is long, and millions more users. So why is it worth way less right now? So the skeptics are going to be skeptical. The whales who know something that we may not are slowly accumulating billions of dollars of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and they're just sitting on them, waiting for this market to bounce back. How do we know when it's going to bounce back? Well, a lot of people are speculating this is going to be a 6 month to 2 year bear market. And basically, they're just going off the last 2 bear markets. Because after all, what the hell does time have to do with it? What's going to change in 6 months or 2 years that the money's going to come flooding back into the market? And how do we know when this happens so we can jump back in and ride that rocket ship all the way back to the moon? Well, essentially, time in this bear market is exposing everybody that's over leveraged. In fact, over $1.3 billion of crypto was liquidated in 24 hours. This is basically when traders take loans out on the money that they have, then their assets drop in value, then the trader can no longer meet that minimum marginal requirement, and their lenders force them to liquidate their entire loan. And it's not just people, but it's companies too, big companies. Look at Celsius, who have frozen all of their customers' assets because they don't have enough money on hand to pay back everyone's money who wants to withdraw it. Warren Buffett has a fantastic saying: when the tide goes out, you can see who's swimming naked. And the market right now is essentially just waiting for the naked people to get the hell out of the beach. This means that trust can return to the market, people can continue to build, and the bull market will return. So now the important question is, how do we know when all the naked people are out? Because after all, there's still a few naked people in here who are pretending that they're not naked. Well, Luna was definitely the start, and quite the start, liquidating over $60 billion of value in just 3 days, almost down to zero. Tron's USDD might be following soon if it doesn't deploy capital to actually back its stablecoin. May have 3 Arrows Capital going under, Solon making us question what decentralization actually means, and even Jake Paul may have been swimming naked. The fact that the US inflation data was pretty radical, and the fact that it might be on the brink of a recession is definitely a big dark cloud over the crypto market. And of course, the big elephant in the room, Tether, rumored to be unbacked, $70 billion of funds unbacked, and even they're saying that they're under DDoS attack. This is a top 3 stablecoin that cannot prove that its funds are backed by anything. And if this one goes down, you could see those Bitcoin prices crashing a significant percent very quickly. But some say it's necessary because we can't really be returning to a bull cycle with big old naked Tether still in the pool. So if you are out there trying to time this market, don't. Do what the best people are doing and dollar cost average your way in. Because by the time all these new people are cleared out of the pool, we're probably soaring back to the moon already. And potentially sustainably soaring there. As these projects have more and more utility and more profit, the prices are going to get more and more stable. And that's a ride you really don't want to miss. So hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next one.